the world.
So that itself will ensure that if production comes down, the price goes up, which will bring the farmers back into the game.
Okay, now let me get to the core issue of your company. Your company had several setbacks, but I'd like to talk about the 1995 IPO, where you raised 65 crore to set up a vitamin C plant, which you formed. Then after a period of time, you decided you won't get into the business. So why did you not get into that business, and what were the lessons learned from there?
In 1995, when we were like at the peak of our mint business, menthol business, at that moment, Dad decided that, let's diversify. That is very progressive. He wants to always be progressive, be global. His vision is always global. So vitamin C was very dear to our heart. This project was very dear to our heart, and we invested a lot of manpower and a lot of money to establish this project in India. At that moment of the time, the price of vitamin C was $18. The project cost was roughly 250 to 300 crores in 1995.
Okay.
Huge money at that time. So we went for an IPO. It was quite well accepted in the market. We generated 65 crores from the IPO. But then suddenly, China decided to crash the vitamin C market. From $18 in, say, span of 6 months, the price dropped to $6 a kilo. And this made our project completely unviable. We sat in the family, Dad said, should we go ahead? We've already spent a lot of money in the project. Should we go ahead, or should we take a bitter pill? He said, we should not shake our foundation by, going ahead and leveraging ourselves so much that you don't know, 2 years later, China may decide to make the product $3 a kilo, and our RMC is $6 a kilo, $7 a kilo. So at that moment, we decided to shelve the project.
So what were the lessons learned from there?
One lesson was learned that to go big, you should take little experience before that and understand the market and the global scenario. Look at the pros and cons in detail. Do not underestimate any country which, has no profit and loss account. And, with this experience, when we established the cocoa plant, we made sure we take step-by-step, progressively investment so that, we do not make the same mistake what we did in vitamin C.
Okay, let me get Sandeep in. Sandeep, you all heard the promoter, the chairman and the MD, the first person account. So what is your take as a banker when you listen to their stories?
I guess I would describe the strategy as sure-footed. There is a clear strategy you can see, which comes from starting with the knowledge of chemical, getting into menthol, manufacturing, dominating that, strong manufacturing base, developing B2B with marquee names globally, and then diversifying into cocoa, although there was the vitamin C in the middle project, but if you see, that was sure-footed because they said we'll do it, but once they realized the risk, they stepped back and went into cocoa. And intuitively, although they stuck with the knitting of commodity, processing, B2B, but from a banker's perspective, I thought it brought out a very good dimension into the business and kind of de-risk the business, because the two are very different. Menthol is agro-India exported. Cocoa is imported, where they don't have to manage the farmer aspects which they have to manage in menthol. So from our perspective, you can see that what was largely an export-oriented company became quite a balanced export and import-oriented. Thus, in case the global demand slows down, they still have recourse to the Indian market or vice versa. So I can see a very sure-footed strategy in play, not 1 year, 5 year, but over the last 3 decades.
Okay, let me get Mr. Jindal in. Do you believe in luck?
नहीं.
Why?
लक जो है ना एक कमजोर आदमी का हथियार है. जब वो चलता है, अनसक्सेस होता है तो वो समझता है मेरी किस्मत में ऐसा ही लिखा था, लेकिन वो गलत है. लक जो है ना कुछ चीज नहीं है. हमेशा आदमी के लिए सख्त मेहनत, ईमानदारी वही एक सच्ची सक्सेस
Very well put. Mr. Jindal, what are the ingredients for success in business?
है। सर पहला सही सोच होनी चाहिए,
Okay.
उसके ऊपर सख्त मेहनत होनी चाहिए और बीच में लड़खड़ाना नहीं चाहिए
Okay.
और ईमानदारी से काम करना चाहिए।
It-
और जब तक आप जो भी गोल बनाए सही सोच से, वो गोल जब तक मिल नहीं जावे तब तक आप लगे रहना चाहिए।
Okay, Mr. Jindal, thanks a lot for being on the show. Ajay, Sandeep, yes, thanks for being on the show. Well, that was SK Jindal and Ajay Jindal, both crystal clear about the business vision and strategy. These are the mantras Jindal implemented to build the company. Don't venture into a business without proper research and experience. Identify a goal and work towards it. Don't give up on your goal halfway through. And finally, be focused, be honest, and work hard. Well, Jindal does not believe in luck or God. That honesty is what appeals to me the most. He has clearly walked the talk. Here is what steel tycoon Lakshmi Mittal says about success, and this fits SK Jindal very well. I quote him, "Hard work certainly goes a long way. These days, a lot of people work hard, so you have to make sure you work even harder and really dedicate yourself to what you're doing and setting out to achieve it." Unquote. On that thinking note, it is time to say goodbye. See you next week with another interesting episode. Till then, keep watching CNBC TV 18.
Focus, ideate, innovate, enable.